Seniors. 6. Best foods to naturally prevent heart attack and stroke. Risk after 60. By the time you finish watching this video, dozens more people will have suffered a heart attack or stroke. That's because, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, over 800,000 Americans have a heart attack each year, and nearly 795,000 others have a stroke. What's even more alarming, 3 out of 4 of these events happen to people over 65, and the reality is that most of them never saw it coming because they didn't recognize the early heart attack symptoms. The problem isn't just the suddenness. The problem is what comes after the memory loss from brain damage, the unsteady legs, the silence that fills a room when a loved one can no longer speak. For seniors, this isn't just a medical incident. It's a loss of independence, a loss of confidence, and sometimes even a loss of self. But here is the truth that most people don't hear from their doctors. Up to 80% of these cardiovascular events are entirely preventable simply by managing the root causes of heart attack, such as high blood pressure, cholesterol, and inflammation. And one of the simplest, most powerful ways to do that doesn't come from a prescription bottle. It comes from your own kitchen. In today's video, we will explore 6 everyday foods that have been proven by peer-reviewed studies to help reduce cardiovascular risk, protect your blood vessels, and nourish both your heart and brain, especially after 60. And don't worry, these aren't exotic ingredients. They are foods you can find in any store. So if you are serious about protecting your health and learning how to prevent heart attack, take a moment. Sit back and stay with me, because making the right choices today can mean more mornings, more memories, and more time to enjoy the life you've built. 1. Dark chocolate. A sweet habit that nurtures your heart and brain. Let me ask you something. Do you occasionally enjoy a little chocolate? If so, I have good news for you. Because eating a small amount of dark chocolate ice, the kind with at least 70% cacao, can actually help you reduce your risk of both a heart attack and a stroke. There was a Swedish study that followed over 37,000 older adults for more than 10 years. And what the researchers discovered was fascinating. Those who regularly ate dark chocolate had a 17% lower risk of experiencing cardiovascular events. It's not because chocolate is magic, but because dark chocolate is packed with something called flavonoids. These are natural compounds found in plants that help keep your blood vessels healthy and flexible. Flavonoids help your body produce nitric oxide, a gas that signals your blood vessels to relax and expand. That means better blood flow to both your brain and your heart, lower blood pressure, and a reduced chance of blood clots forming. This is a core factor because a blood clot blocking blood flow to the heart is the very answer to the question, what is the causes of heart attack? In fact, a team at Harvard Medical School conducted a trial with older adults who had poor cerebral circulation and found significant improvements in blood flow and memory function after just 2 weeks. But dark chocolate has more than just flavonoids. It also contains magnesium, which helps control blood pressure and supports a stable heart rhythm, along with small amounts of theobromine and caffeine, which can give your brain a gentle boost. Now you might be wondering how much is enough. It's not a lot, just 1 or 2 small squares a day, about the size of a tea bag, is all you need. I often recommend having it after lunch or dinner as a small dessert. Just make sure it's real dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao and minimal added sugar. However, there are a few things to keep in mind. First, don't overdo it. Even healthy chocolate is still calorie-dense, which can lead to weight gain. Second, be cautious with sugar-free chocolates that use sugar alcohols, as they can cause bloating or diarrhea in older adults. And if you're taking medication for blood pressure or antidepressants, consult your doctor before making dark chocolate a daily habit. For most seniors, when consumed correctly, a piece of dark chocolate isn't a guilty pleasure. It's smart nutrition, a choice of wisdom. It's one of the few snacks that genuinely supports cardiovascular health, circulation, and long-term protection against cardiovascular events. 2. Beans and lentils. The friendly protein that protects your heart and brain. Now let's talk about something simple, something most of us have in our pantry, but might not realize just how powerful it is. Beans and lentils. They are humble, affordable, and easy to prepare. But for seniors over 60, they can be one of the most important foods for preventing cardiovascular events. Here's why: beans and lentils are packed with fiber, plant-based protein, potassium, magnesium, and especially folate, all of which play a direct role in protecting your heart and brain. You see, one of the major causes of blood vessel damage is a high level of homocysteine in the blood. This amino acid damages the lining of the arteries, increasing the risk of blood clots, the culprit behind both strokes and a heart attack. And can you guess what helps lower it? Folate. In fact, a 2021 review in the journal Nutrients found that increasing folate intake from foods like lentils helped reduce homocysteine levels by up to 25%, which can translate into a significant drop in cardiovascular risk. But that's not all. A single cup of cooked lentils provides 15 grams of fiber, which helps lower cholesterol and prevent arterial plaque, the root cause of chest pain and the symptoms of heart attack. 18 grams of protein, supporting muscle mass without the saturated fat. 730 milligrams of potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure naturally. 90% of your daily folate needs. Compare that to red meat, which has no fiber, is higher in saturated fat, and often contributes to inflammation. In a large study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, adults who replaced red meat with legumes at least 3 times a week had up to a 30% lower risk of cardiovascular disease, which includes both strokes and heart attacks. What I love most about beans and lentils is how easy they are to add to your meals. You don't need to be a professional chef. Try adding a scoop of black beans to a salad, making a lentil soup with garlic and olive oil, or a simple bowl of rice and beans for lunch. And for those with sensitive digestive systems, you can start slow and remember to rinse canned beans thoroughly or soak dry beans overnight to reduce discomfort. So the next time you're planning your meals, remember that you don't need a fancy superfood. Sometimes all it takes is a bowl of lentil soup. Because preventing cardiovascular events doesn't start in a hospital, it starts right in your kitchen. 3. Avocados, the creamy fruit that protects your arteries. Now let's talk about something a bit creamier. Something that feels like an indulgence, but is actually one of the most heart and brain protective foods you can eat: the avocado. Yes, the very fruit you might slice onto toast or mash into guacamole. But for seniors, especially those concerned about their cardiovascular risk, it offers so much more than just flavor. You see, avocados are rich in monounsaturated fats. These are the good fats, the kind that help lower bad LDL cholesterol and raise good HDL cholesterol. And why is that so important? Because according to the American Heart Association, high cholesterol is one of the leading causes of heart attack. When bad cholesterol builds up, it forms plaque in your arteries, which narrows and hardens them, restricting blood flow to both the heart and the brain. But here's the encouraging part: in a study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, researchers found that adults who ate 1 avocado a day had significantly lower levels of LDL cholesterol and better overall arterial function. And that's just the beginning. Avocados are also incredibly rich in potassium. In fact, they have more than bananas. The link between blood pressure and heart attack is undeniable, and potassium is key to keeping blood pressure in check, which eases the strain on your heart. Plus, avocados contain magnesium to support a steady heartbeat, along with vitamin K and folate, both of which are essential for keeping blood vessels healthy and preventing clot formation. In another long-term study, scientists showed that replacing saturated fats with monounsaturated fats from avocados significantly reduced the risk of cardiovascular events, whether it was a heart attack or a stroke. So, how do you add this to your daily menu? You don't need a whole avocado, just a quarter to half a fruit is plenty. You can mash it onto whole grain toast, slice it into a salad, or blend it into a smoothie. A quick note, avocados are calorie dense, so if you're watching your weight portion control is key. But for most older adults, it's one of the easiest and tastiest ways to protect your heart, your brain, and your future. Because when you nourish your arteries, you're giving your heart and brain the oxygen they need, and a heart attack becomes far less likely to strike you by surprise. 4. Fatty fish, the heart and brain's favorite protein. Now let's move on to something that many doctors have been quietly recommending for years, not just for the heart, but for the brain as well. I'm talking about fatty fish like salmon, sardines, mackerel, and trout. Why fatty fish? Because they are the best natural source of omega-3 fatty acids, a type of healthy fat that helps reduce inflammation, improve blood circulation, and even protect nerve cells from damage. And when it comes to preventing cardiovascular events, the science is very clear. A 2021 review published in the journal Stroke examined data from over 800,000 people and found that those who consumed fatty fish at least twice a week had a significantly lower risk of ischemic stroke. Similarly, other studies have shown that omega-3s play a crucial role when you want to prevent a heart attack. How do omega-3s do this? They tackle risk factors from multiple angles, lowering triglyceride levels, a type of harmful fat in the blood, reducing the buildup of plaque in the arteries, improving the flexibility of blood vessels, preventing abnormal blood clot formation. Fatty fish also provide a significant amount of vitamin D, which supports blood vessel health and reduces inflammation, vitamin B12, which protects nerve function, and high-quality protein, which helps maintain muscle strength as we age. But there's more. In a study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, older adults who ate salmon twice a week showed improved cognitive scores and better blood flow to the brain, even if they had no history of heart disease. This demonstrates a dual benefit, simultaneously protecting both the heart and the brain. So, how do you add this to your routine? Try baking a salmon fillet with olive oil and lemon, or make a quick sardine sandwich. Even a can of mackerel in water can be a powerful meal against heart disease. And for those who don't like the fishy taste, try using herbs to make the dish more palatable. A word of caution: be mindful of mercury levels in some fish. Avoid large predatory species like shark or king mackerel. Stick to wild-caught salmon, sardines, and trout. Also avoid frying. Fried fish has been shown in some studies to increase cardiovascular risk due to the unhealthy fats used in the cooking process. Remember, twice a week is enough. You don't need to eat it every day, just consistently. Because giving your body the right kind of fat can lead to a sharper mind, a stronger heart, and avoiding that trip to the emergency room that begins with a sharp chest pain or a vacant stare. 5. Berries. The tiny gems that protect your heart and brain. Sometimes the most powerful things come in the smallest packages, and when it comes to protecting your cardiovascular system and preventing serious events, berries, Yes, those blueberries, strawberries, and raspberries can be the silent heroes in your diet. These small, colorful fruits are packed with antioxidants called anthocyanins. That's the compound that gives berries their deep red and blue colors, and more importantly, the ability to reduce inflammation, improve blood vessel health, and boost circulation to both the heart and the brain. In a study from Harvard University, researchers tracked the diets of over 93,000 women for 18 years. The results were stunning. Women who ate berries at least 3 times a week had up to a 32% lower risk of having a heart attack and stroke compared to those who rarely ate them. This is especially significant for women, as heart attack symptoms in a woman can sometimes be less typical than in men and are often overlooked. Similar studies have also reported positive results in older men. But how exactly do berries do this? They help relax the arteries, which lowers blood pressure. They prevent the oxidation of bad LDL cholesterol, one of the first steps in plaque formation. They protect the delicate lining of the blood vessels from damage. These are all key factors that help minimize the signs and symptoms of heart attack. They also help regulate blood sugar, a crucial factor since diabetes significantly increases cardiovascular risk in older adults. And the best part is how easy they are to eat. No cooking, no prep, no excuses. You can toss a handful of blueberries into your morning oatmeal, add some strawberries to Greek yogurt, or keep frozen berries in the freezer for smoothies. And don't worry about the cost. Frozen berries are just as nutritious as fresh ones, and they last longer. Here's a quick tip: aim for about a half to a full cup per day, at least 3 to 4 times a week. Try to mix up the colors, as each type of berry offers a different set of nutrients. One final note: skip the canned products packed in syrup. That added sugar can negate the benefits. So the next time you open the fridge and see that small bowl of blueberries, know this: you're not just eating fruit. You are nourishing your brain, you are protecting your heart, and you are lowering your risk of one of the most life-altering events that can happen after 60. 6. Leafy greens, the daily vegetable that helps prevent cardiovascular disease. We've talked about dark chocolate beans, avocados, fatty fish, and berries. But if you ask most cardiologists, they would probably agree on one thing: leafy greens might be one of the most important foods for preventing cardiovascular disease. Yet many seniors don't eat enough of them. Spinach kale, collard greens, Swiss chard arugula. These aren't just healthy choices. They are like a natural medicine for heart attack for your arteries and your brain. Here's why leafy greens are incredibly rich in folate, vitamin K, magnesium, potassium, and nitrates. This is a powerful combination that helps lower blood pressure, relax and widen blood vessels, improve blood flow to the heart and brain, prevent the formation of blood clots. All of this directly targets the cause of heart attack. In a study published in the journal Stroke, researchers found that people who ate the most leafy greens had a 20–30% lower risk of stroke. Another review showed that just one daily serving of greens can significantly lower levels of homocysteine, a harmful compound that damages arteries. Leafy greens also contain nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide, a compound that helps relax blood vessels and improve oxygen delivery. In one clinical trial, older adults who consumed nitrate-rich spinach daily had markedly improved arterial function in just 1 week. Now, I know some people don't like the taste of kale or collard greens, but the good news is you don't have to eat them raw or plain. You can saute spinach with garlic and olive oil, blend kale into a smoothie, or toss arugula into a salad. Aim for at least 1 cooked cup or 2 raw cups per day. One important note: if you are on blood thinners, like warfarin, Talk to your doctor before suddenly increasing your intake of leafy greens, as vitamin K affects blood clotting and your medication dosage may need to be adjusted. But don't let that stop you. Leafy greens are easy to overlook, but they are quietly doing their job. So the next time you sit down for a meal, ask yourself, have I fed my heart and brain today? So let's look back 6 simple foods: dark chocolate beans and lentils, avocados, fatty fish berries, and leafy greens. No exotic ingredients, no expensive pills, just everyday foods. But don't let their simplicity fool you. Because when you choose these foods, you are sending a signal to your heart, to your brain, to every blood vessel in your body that you are still in control, that you still want more mornings, more memories, and more strength. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one small change: a few berries in the morning, a serving of beans at lunch, a square of dark chocolate after dinner. Because over time, these small choices, they become protection. They become strength. They become the silent guardians of your independence. And if this video has been helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with someone you care about. Because a heart attack doesn't wait, but neither do we. Thank you for watching. Take care of your body, and it will take care of you.